Hello. Here to file a report.
For what?
Criminal report, NRS 200.359 violation.
Excuse me?
An NRS 200.359 violation.
Okay, what is that?
Parental abduction.
And where did this occur at?
This was from Las Vegas.
Where in Las Vegas?
So this is a 3-year-old case. I'm here at the request of Sergeant Stark, who runs missing persons. We're refiling an old report. The address at the time was 7 Street.
Have a silver out, have a seat, and wait to be called.
Okay. I'm gonna go get, I'm sure I have time, I'm gonna go get my own pen out of the car.
Oh, yeah, there is 3 people in front of you,
Okay, I'll be right back. Thank you.
but there aren't any people waiting, so just so you know.
Thank you. I'll be line and be right back. Hello. So, July 7th, 2019, my children were abducted from Nevada by their mother. I came in immediately here to this headquarters, it was a Sunday, to file a police report. A civilian gatekeeper at that window refused to let me make a report, claiming it was a civil matter.
At that time, did you have a court order document saying that they had to stay?
That's a tough question to answer. Basically, there was a 2012 case in San Jose that we both mutually agreed to dismiss. And what I found out after the fact, because there's now been 3 years of litigation, is that a fraudulent stipulated judgment that I never stipulated to was on file in the court in San Jose. Now, I say it's void. She says it's valid. Either way, all it says is we have joint legal, joint physical custody. So either way, either by judgment or by statute, we have shared 50-50 custody. Pursuant to our agreement, yes. Not the case. No, so because we had mutually agreed to dismiss it, we have been operating by private agreement ever since because we both thought the case had been properly dismissed. Apparently it wasn't properly dismissed, even though we did it twice, because her lawyer didn't file it. She apparently instead filed this stipulated judgment. Now, in 2020, so this is after the abduction, in a deposition, she had admitted that she only found out that the case was still open just prior to abducting the kids. So like she had found out in January of 2019 that the case was still open.
Now serving
She found out. It's all in here, by the way. Like, I'm trying to follow your lead, but this is now a big deal because I ended up getting falsely arrested by the Attorney General in 2021. I'm now seeking charges against him because they refused to investigate too. So a couple weeks ago, I talked to Sergeant Stark, who runs the missing persons unit. Yes, and I said, everybody.
You have anything for staying about on Friday schedule?
No, well, no, yeah, because this is today. I'm going to be in here several times for the next several months because to give you the short version, when the gatekeeper refused to let me make a report, I went to the FBI. And they're like, oh, well, we're very interested in the fact that they refused to take a report. We want you to try again. So then I went to Enterprise Area Command and I got a report made. Correct. And the detective for this report, here,
Sorry, I was just trying to get the dates. I don't.
it's okay.
In August.
Yeah. So the detective, who apparently is now retired, of course, because you know that's the way it goes, refused to investigate, claiming it was a civil matter. Okay, so that was the end of my contact with LVMPD, except for the fact that I sent the sheriff certified mail asking for help, which was never responded to. I sent a copy of that certified mail to the sheriff by email to his general counsel. They ignored me. Right.
When's the last time you signed this?
It's been almost a year, because I was falsely arrested on September 29th, 2021. It was on a California warrant that nobody's seen. So the, as you can, no, they're in South Lake Tahoe right now.
So you were here?
Correct.
Okay,
She lived here at the time she abducted him too.
okay, but you have a custody arrangement out of California?
No,
Where is it at?
there is no arrangement.
There is no custody.
Yeah. So you guys are jumping around and I understand you're trying to get a handle on this. My way of solving this problem at this point is to
Now
do the binders
serving
in chronological order, starting from the beginning. So I do a chronology and I attach the evidence. And this is the only way I can handle this at this point because you guys refused to do your job in the beginning.
So-
AG refused, California refused.
So what I need to know though is
Yeah.
the elements for me to be able to push in a report and take care of this.
Okay.
So there's no custody arrangement.
So at the time, there was a written agreement between me and her. She is claiming, and she's already admitted to that agreement, like it's not in dispute. She also has admitted in open court, both here and in California and in deposition, that she entered into that agreement knowing that she was not going to honor it, and that I would not have let the kids out of Nevada.
Okay. Is this like a custody agreement or just like a written? What we're gonna do?
It was it was a written, this is what we're gonna do for the summer, and also where the kids primarily reside.
Okay. So. Yeah, because ultimately, I talked to the missing person detectives a lot about this stuff. A lot of the time, what you're going to be required to get is what's called emergency backup order from the court, from the judge that you have custody rights, and if this other person is violating them, then actually act on those rights.
I don't know if you heard the part of the conversation that I was dealing directly with Sergeant Stark,
Okay. And what does that have to, what is it?
because he's taking the lead on this.
Okay. So it's an open case already?
No, this is the first step. He wanted me to, because we had this one from 2019 that died on the vine because the detective didn't do his job. So what he asked me to do was come in here, because I told him, I said, I'm gonna do the report, investigative report, I'm gonna type up a chronology, I'm gonna attach the evidence. And he said, okay, first step, because the reason why we had the conversation is because 2 weeks ago, I did a public records request, and I said, I want the policy on NRS 200.359. And I get this, and I go, why is everybody at Metro gaslighting me that this is not a crime when this clearly says in your own policy it's a crime and these are the things that you're supposed to do, right? So he told me, he looked in the computer, he looked at what the detective did, and he said, I'm very concerned that this was not done appropriately. So he goes, go ahead and type up your chronology, because I told him once I have these, I'm walking them around to the different agencies. It's going to the AG, it's going to the governor, it's going to school district police, it's going everywhere, because everybody refuses to do their job, right? So he says, that's great, that's what I want you to do. He goes, put it together, and then please come down to records and file it and get a new case number.
Okay. So do you have that information of him telling you to come down here and file?
He just told me that
Over email or over the phone?
over the phone, and he said he already
So we're gonna
talked.
have to contact him first before we do anything, because at this point, what you're asking me is to override what the detectives told me before.
Okay.
So let me get in contact with who I can and see where to go from there.
He said he's instructed his whole squad on this.
Okay, well, we're not his squad,
I
unfortunately,
understand.
so yeah, I'll have to reach out to them and see what I can find out about it, and go from there, yeah. that way we have at least our back, so that way it can't come back this way.
But long story, like to answer your question,
Yeah.
there's either two things that govern. It's either the statute or it's that judgment from 2012 that I say is void. Either way, we have shared legal and physical custody.
Okay.
She did not have any orders or anything that allowed her to relocate those children. She did not have my permission. She did not have a court order.
Yeah, so the way it's been described to me by the missing persons detectives is if there's no custody agreement, you guys are both on the birth certificate, you guys both have same legal rights to take the children to do with them what you will. That's just how they've explained it to us before. But let's see what we can find out.
Okay.
Let's see if I can, you said Stark was the?
Stark is the sergeant runs missing persons.
Okay.
And then they shouldn't be explaining it to you that way because that's not what your own policy says.
Okay, well, like I said, there's a lot of different situations with different court custody agreements and people having them, people not being on birth certificate. Let me see what I can find out and then we'll go from there, okay? You want to get on the horn with dispatch and see if you can get a missing person? Detective, yeah, whoever's on call.
Thank you. Why are we going to missing persons for permission to make a report? Yes, but I don't understand why we even have to go to this.
Now serving T407.
Let's just provide your official
Window
policy.
number 8.
Right here, right? It says, generate an incident crime report if elements of NRS 200.359 are being reported. I am reporting elements of that NRS.
Yeah.
She
So
did not.
For this situation, we have to contact them anyway.
Right.
So you can quote policy all day long, but we're trying to help you. Just let us know. It's going to take some time, but just let us get in contact.
Now serving
I do appreciate your help, so don't take it the wrong way. Okay, but this is a bigger issue than just my case. Like, this is the policy, and I'm trying to figure out why you guys never follow the policy.
So down here, so that's policy department wide.
Yeah.
Then they reissue information to us on how they want it.
Okay.
Which includes not passing for doors and following up on how they want it.
So I would like to request that under a public records request. So what is the name of those documents where they?
All that for you right now. You can go through that process and they can do it that way. We're going to continue contacting
All right.
The kids, are they on the Nevada side or California side of
They're in California now.
the California
Yeah.
side now? Okay.
Myself from missing persons detective on duty or on call. Is her last name and P number. She said we wouldn't be able to take the report, that you'd have to go reach out to the jurisdiction where the court order is and have them take I don't know if California calls it a different
Okay,
name.
I'm not-
Here it's hide and detain
Yeah.
report.
What did she say about Sergeant Stark?
Not much. I told her that Sergeant Stark, so from what you're saying, Sergeant
Yeah.
Stark told us we would help you,
Yes.
but I still have to get permission from a missing persons detective.
Okay, so here's the other thing. In addition, first of all, I'm not doing that. Well, I am doing it, but I'm doing it a different way. Because you guys all have me chasing my tail. So South Lake Tahoe Police did the same exact thing. Okay? And
California side?
Yes.
I'm just curious.
Yes. Okay? That's why I was falsely arrested, and that's why I've been running around in circles for 3 years. Because you guys all just keep pawning me off to different agencies. So that's number one. So my solution to that is these, and I'm dropping them off at each agency. Right? It's going to be a civil rights lawsuit. And then also, impeding the victim of a crime from reporting a crime is a felony in Nevada. Okay? So there's that. Now also, this is not just parental abduction. It's perjury. It's filing the false sworn documents both in court here and court in California. Okay, I've spoken to San Jose Police because that's where the case is. So we now have San Jose, we have South Lake Tahoe, we have Las Vegas. They're insisting I file my reports here and they get forwarded as a courtesy report. Okay? So again, I want to make my report. If you guys are
I
not,
want to help you.
I understand. If you're not going to do it, then I'm going to ask to speak to a sworn officer.
There's an officer coming right now. So
Thank
if you
you.
want to just wait anyway, you can wait because we're not changing our answer.
Okay?
Okay. So he's on his way right now.
So I have her P number. I want to get both your names and P numbers.
Sure thing. Yeah, you want to put him on there. And then this is the phone number for missing persons. She said if you have any questions or anything like that, you can call him tomorrow.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to write mine? And
Yes, please. And you cannot cite the policy that you're using to refuse to take a report,
No, so
correct?
what you can do is you can, if you want to do the same request that you did before, you can ask for our citizens report manual, because that's how we do our training based off of, and that's where that information's in. It doesn't have like a policy number like our department policy has, but it is a manual nonetheless that gets signed off and there's copies of, so they would be able to get it the same as they can department policy.
Okay, I just thought, but here's the thing, like I've already made that request, I've made a public records request, any policies surrounding NRS 200.359,
Okay.
the only thing that they produced was this.
But like I said, you can be a little bit more specific with our area in particular on how we handle taking of police reports. Or
Civilian handbook?
It's called the civilian, well, no, not civilian, sorry, citizens report manual.
C634 at window number 18.
Or this one too as well, on why we have to contact missing persons. That's part of the other department policy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where am I meeting this officer?
He's on his way right here. You can just hang out here.
At the window?
Yeah, you're fine.
Thanks. Does Internal Affairs have anybody over there today?
No, they're
On
Monday through
Sunday?
Friday.
What's up, man?
Hey.
Let me ask you this.
yeah.
What more am I going to be able to help you with than you've already been advised of?
Well, for one, I guess, and I don't want to, but
Okay.
impeding the victim of a crime from reporting a crime is a felony in Nevada. So why don't we start there?
Okay. Let me
I-
ask you this. If a detective already told you what's going to happen, how am I going to change his mind?
Well, so first of all, it's a woman, as I understand.
What's that?
It's a woman, as I understand.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
So, well, I'm just making sure I'm clear. So, but I talked to Sergeant Stark on the phone 2 weeks ago.
From where?
Sergeant Stark runs missing persons.
Okay.
I'm following his instructions right now.
Okay.
He told me that he advised his whole squad how this was going to go down. So clearly there's a mishap there.
Okay.
Okay.
When's the last? Why don't you just call him right now then if you've been in contact with him?
All I have is his desk number, and if he's not working today, then I can't call him.
They start working tomorrow. I don't know if he does specifically.
Okay, but I've been here 2 hours already. I'm following his instructions.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have the issue of, this is now a 3-year-old at kidnapping
Okay.
because of how you guys have been behaving. Okay, I came in here 3 years ago to file a
I
report.
already know all the resume and rundown.
Okay, so this is the policy.
Okay.
It
that's
says,
fine.
it
That's
says,
fine. You can read it. You can read it. That's fine. All I'm saying is if a missing persons detective already made the decision, there's nothing I'm going to do that's going to trump their decision.
well, that's fine, then I want to make a report for impeding a victim of a crime, filing a
We're
report.
not going to do that. You
You're-
can file a complaint with Internal Affairs.
Okay, so you're refusing now to take a report.
I mean, you can do anything you need to do, sir.
What's your P number, Officer Johnson?
1589.
15889.
Any other questions that we can help you with?
Give me a second to think.
Okay. Okay.
Give me a second, please, just to think.
And some time ago, he found that kid to be the same person who stole boats.
Can you cite any?
Up there.
Can you cite? Do you have any other? Can you tell me any other policies other than this one that's governing?
I'm not gonna read policies verbatim.
Okay.
That has
So
nothing to do
on
with
what?
you.
Just clarify for me on what authority you're refusing to take a report today.
I'm done with you, sir. We're done with you. I advised you what was gonna happen. You already been advised multiple times, so there's nothing that I'm gonna do that's gonna trump a missing person detective. All right.
Okay.
Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you.